Coming up on The Bottom Line, we're talking to Erica Ogg and Ross Rubin about whether there's any room for another device between a phone and a laptop.
Times are tough, so save time and money by skipping business trips and using GoToMeeting. Visit gotomeeting.com/techpodcast and get 30 days for free.
Bill Gates was unimpressed with Apple's iPad. He says the devices like that need a pen, voice control, and even a keyboard. Erica, what do you think about Gates' statement?
Well, I think he clearly has an idea of what a tablet-like device should do, and his statement sounds a lot like what Microsoft first came up with, years and years ago. So I guess it's not surprising what he said.
Yeah, I mean, they've wanted tablet displays to take off for a while. They've had smart displays and things like that. Same question for you, Ross. Do you think Gates has a point here? I mean, or is he hanging on to the old Microsoft way of we need to have a tablet computer that has a pen and stylus?
Well, perhaps if you're associating this kind of product with the traditional PC, certainly something like a keyboard is much more important. The iPad clearly grew up from the iPod and iPhone instead of being shrunk down from the Mac. So Apple's definitely taking a different approach. What I found interesting was that Bill Gates praised the iPhone and said he was very impressed by that device. So I thought it was interesting, given that this is sort of an incremental improvement on what Apple first introduced with the iPhone. Of course, relatively speaking, it's not going to be as impressive as a lot of the breakthroughs that Apple had with that device.
Yeah, for those of you who missed it, Bill Gates, when speaking about the iPhone, his initial reaction was, "Oh my God, Microsoft didn't aim high enough." Now, whether he was being facetious, we don't really know. I guess if the reporter from BNet could let us know. I think he was being serious because that was quite a leap, and I think one of the reasons the iPad isn't taking people by storm, it seems a bit evolutionary and not revolutionary, as Apple likes to say. Ross, do you think there is a perfect device between a phone and a laptop? Is there anything?
Well, it's a real challenge, a real holy grail that the industry has been chasing for many years. And last week I actually wrote a column that talked about the narrowing of this gap as smartphones continue to get smarter and ultra-portable computers continue to get more portable and less expensive. To the extent there was a gap in years past, maybe 5 years ago, it's significantly narrowed now.
Erica, you covered the iPad extensively when they unveiled it. I think was that just 2 weeks ago, maybe a week ago? I'm curious about your opinion. Do you think there actually is room for a device between a laptop and a phone? I mean, this is an in-between area. There's really nothing out there other than, I think, ebooks is kind of filling that gap. Is there room for a color screen device, or what do you see filling this space?
I definitely think there's room. Whether people are going to decide that they absolutely must have this is different. I don't think there's anything wrong with putting something out there in between these two devices. And I think that a lot of the confusion or sort of like, it seems like a lot of people are kind of mystified by what the iPad actually is. And I think that right now we don't necessarily know what exactly it's going to do. And I think that's part of why people are kind of confused about whether there is room here. So I would say that we're going to see probably over the next year or so exactly what Apple has in mind here and whether it will work for people.
What do you guys think about the timing on this? I mean, Microsoft's had some of the similar ideas about maybe 5 or 6 years ago. They've been pushing tablet computing, and now it's called Slate PCs. And somebody's AIM client wants to interrupt me, so thanks. And anyway, the point was that Microsoft's had these ideas for some time now. Do you think that the time is right at this stage in technology that something from Apple could succeed, or tablet PCs as a whole could actually succeed where they have failed in the past, other than to make traction in, I think, in the industrial worlds and hospitals? Tablets just haven't taken off here. What do you guys think? Is this the time? Is now the time?
Well, I think it speaks a lot to the way Apple brings products to market. You know, it has a lot of patience. It waits until it believes the technology is mature enough to serve the purposes and design that it wants it to serve. This is going to be primarily a content consumption device, and now they have the display technology, the chip technology, the operating system, and even an applications base that can support what they think will fill this gap.
Okay, any final words?
No, I think I agree with Ross. I think that the timing is really important here, and that the content is what's going to matter to people. And obviously, all of the content deals that Apple would want to be in place for this aren't in place yet. So when so maybe it might be a little bit early, like I said before, to see, what the true purpose of this device is. But I think eventually in the next couple months to a year, we'll see exactly what Apple has in mind here.
I'm going to cram in one more question before we go. Are you guys going to buy an iPad or a tablet or something between a laptop and a phone? Just curious.
I mean, I could see some scenarios for it. Certainly something to put on the exercise bike rack.
Erica?
That's definitely one usage.
I can definitely see. I can see what the benefits would be. I don't think I'm personally in the market for it right now.
Yeah, that's pretty much the same opinion here. No, everyone seems to think it's an interesting idea, but no one wants to actually put their money down for it. Okay, guys, we are out of time. Thanks to our guests, Erica Ogg of CNET and Ross Rubin of NPD Group. I'm Ayaz Akhtar, and thanks for watching.